You've heard it before. Don't lift weights, it'll ruin your joints. Now, they say it like it's the truth. Okay, but what if I told you that avoiding lifting weights to save your joints could actually be the worst thing that you can do to them? I want you to stick around to the end of this video because I'm about to bust the myth that your joints will be extremely screwed if you lift weights. All right, we're going to bust this myth wide open, and I'm going to show you why lifting is actually one of the best things you can do to protect your joints for life. All right, game changer here. Here's the deal. I get it. Lifting can seem very intimidating. We've all heard people say, don't lift heavy weights. It'll destroy your knees, your back, your shoulders, and the list just goes on, right? But here's the real question, and I'm laughing because, I'm experiencing some issues myself, but we'll talk about that later. But here's the real question. Is lifting actually bad for your joints? Because that's what we're here to talk about. Or is it just another myth holding you back from getting stronger, getting leaner, getting healthier? Let's break it down and let's get to the truth. Let's talk about how your body actually works, okay? Your joints are designed to handle load and stress, all right? In fact, your bones and joints are constantly remodeling themselves based on the forces they experience. So when you're lifting weights, you're applying controlled stress to your muscles and joints, controlled stress, which in turn encourages them to get stronger and more resilient. It's not the lifting that's the problem, it's the way you're doing it. All right? It's not the lifting that's the problem, it's the way you're doing it. If you're lifting with terrible form, lifting too heavy too soon, or skipping recovery, that's when the issues arise. Now, here's the thing. Strength training builds muscle, and muscle is the best support for your joints. The stronger your muscles are, the less stress they put on your joints. All right. So if you have weak muscles, the joints are doing more of the work and are at risk of tearing down or wearing out. Let's say it that way. So lifting weights can actually protect your joints by building muscle mass around them. All right. More cushion, if you will. So let's get very specific here. I want you to take knee pain for an example, okay? For my guys out there that's 30 and up, you guys know knee pain, okay? Many people think that squatting and deadlifting is bad for your knees, but in reality, properly performed squats strengthen the muscles around the knee joint, like quads, like your hamstring, like your calves, okay? So these muscles help absorb the shock and they reduce the wear and tear on the knee joint itself. The key here is form. All right. Now, I've seen a lot of you out there squatting on Instagram, squatting on YouTube. The issue is form, but that's the key thing to think about. When you squat correctly, your knees are protected. But when you squat poorly, that's when you put your knees at risk. Now, myself, I've been trying to perfect my squat form for years, and it still isn't nearly where it needs to be. I think I am about 75, 80% there. It's not easy, guys. Squatting with good form, close to perfect form, is almost nearly impossible, but you can get it done. You just got to practice at it. Now, let's talk about your lower back. Again, I know you guys out there with the lower back issues, lower back pain. How many people avoid deadlifts because they're bad for your back, right? We hear that all the time. Here's the thing. Deadlifts done with correct technique are actually great for lower back because they strengthen the muscles in your core, your hips, and your glutes, all of which support and stabilize your spine. All right. So when you use bad form, like rounding your back, when you pull your shoulders forward, that's when you're at risk of injury. So it's not the movement, it's the execution. Let me say that again. It's not the movement, it's the execution. And I've been perfecting my deadlift form over the last year, and it's actually gotten extremely good. For deadlifts, I might be about 90% there as far as getting to that perfect form. Butt down, shoulders rolled back. Yeah, you want to focus on the form when you're doing these specific movements, especially the compound movements. And this doesn't just apply to heavy lifting. So let's not say it only applies there. This not only applies to heavy lifting, even light resistance training done incorrectly can lead to joint issues. Bad form, improper progression, or ignoring recovery can hurt you just as much, if not more, than lifting heavy weights. So the answer isn't about avoiding lifting, it's about making sure you're doing it right. Now let's talk about another important factor, which is mobility. Now that one right there is key because that's preventing you from getting that good form. If you're afraid to lift because you think it'll hurt your joints, chances are you're neglecting your mobility work. So mobility is essential for joint health. You need to have the flexibility in the range of motion to perform movements safely and effectively. That's why stretching, foam rolling, and other mobility exercises should be part of your routine, especially before lifting. So instead of doing your static stretching before your workouts, which you shouldn't do, you should be doing dynamic stretching. You should pull out the foam roller. You should make sure that you loosen up those joints, loosen up all tightness in specific areas before you actually hit the weights. Now, I want you to think about it this way. If you don't move your joints through a full range of motion, let's say we're doing bench press and we don't move through a full range of motion, you're not giving them the opportunity to stay healthy. So regular lifting, especially with proper form, helps keep your joints moving and flexible. In fact, the research shows that people who regularly lift weights have lower rates of joint degeneration and better overall joint health than those who avoid it. Okay, so the science is there. The studies have already been performed. I'm just giving you guys the material. I'm giving you guys the tools. So let's talk about recovery since we're already headed that direction. Okay, many people avoid lifting to save their joints, but what they don't realize is that the recovery is just as important as the workout itself. When you allow your body to properly rest and recover, I always say rest. When you allow your body to properly rest and recover, your joints, muscles, and your ligaments rebuild stronger and more resilient. Overtraining without recovery can lead to injury, but taking rest days and focusing on proper recovery practices actually enhances your joint health. And that's the key here. We're talking about joint health. One of the most important pieces of the puzzle is consistency. So if you avoid lifting weights entirely, you're not giving your joints the chance to adapt and strengthen. But when you lift regularly and progressively load the muscles and joints in a controlled manner, you're ensuring that your body is building up its ability to handle the stress. And that's the secret to long-term joint health. That's the secret to long-term joint health. Training consistently, but smarter. And the older you get, the smarter you have to be. So before we wrap it up, let me leave you with this. Don't fear weightlifting. Fear not lifting properly. Your joints need strength, mobility, and consistent care. If you want to live an active life without joint pain as you get older, strength training is one of the best things you can do for yourself. I say that all the time. You need to be strength training. But remember, it's not just about lifting the heaviest weight possible. It's about lifting correctly, progressing gradually, and giving your body the rest it needs to recover. So keep that in mind. All right. The next time you hear someone say, don't lift, it's bad for your joints, you'll know way more than them. Okay. You'll know better. And the thing about it is, if you know better, you do better. Okay. So lift smart, train consistently, and your joints will thank you in the long run. Now, if you found this video helpful, I need you to make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, content coming like this daily. And I want you to drop a comment down low. Let me know if you are training with great form or if you need form checks. I have a decent background in lifting, 20 years plus. So therefore, yeah, I know a little bit about form, just a little bit about form. And if you want to start a joint friendly lifting program that helps you build muscle without fear of injury, I want you to check out the first link right there. That is my 5-day quick start that I designed for you guys. I actually threw a bonus in there. It's 6 days. It is a quick start. And this right here is going to help you kickstart your fitness journey and get you on that right track. And then after that, I want you to lock in with me for some one-on-one training, and we can knock you out, get you ready. Well, we're not going to knock you out, but we can knock out a personalized plan for you and get you guys on that 30-day shred and get you going. All right. Let's get those joints strong. Get those joints strong and make the gains. Okay. I want you guys to train smart, train strong, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next one.